Shredder is lost in hell. Going by his original name of Oroku Saki, he is traveling through the Deem to try and rid himself of the dragon's soul that is within him, the soul that causes him to be seeking out vengeance and constantly causing his failures. He was just defeated and is now being presented to the dragon god within hell. How will he escape this fate? This is the Comicstorian channel, and here we've been covering the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books, in which Shredder just died. The purpose of this channel is so that you can keep up with your favorite comic books and know what to add to your collection. Today we're going to bring you the second half of Shredder in Hell. If you enjoy this type of content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing, as every Tuesday you can check back for Turtles or the Power Rangers. Let's get into it. In her temple, Katsuni continues to paint, her brush bringing the events of the underworld to life, tears falling from her eyes, splattering against her painting. Tatseo has dragged Saki back to the temple of the dragon god, the demons cheering him on in his victory. He enters the temple, ordering the demons to set a perimeter, that no one is to bother them. And after he enters, a strange mist begins to appear, creeping around the temple. Inside of it, Tatseo drops Saki before the dragon god, ordering him to raise and fulfill his destiny. But Saki doesn't move. Tatseo lifts him back up by the back of the neck, offering him to the dragon. The dragon god sniffs him, promising Saki that the man that his soul once was is not important to his destiny. But sounds of combat interrupt them, with the doors opening up and the bodies of demons being launched into the room. Mist begins to flow through the door and the spirit of Yoshi is revealed. "It's me, brother. I've got a second chance to keep my promise to you," he says, and Yoshi launches forward, sending a burst of energy that hits the dragon god, forcing it back into the roots of the Tree of Life. He leaps into the air, kicking Tatseo in the stomach, hitting him several times and driving him back. "You must leave this damned place immediately," he says to Saki, pushing him away as he continues to fight against Tatseo. Saki moves into the next room, meeting the gathering of demons with his energy attacks, driving them back as he makes his escape. He grabs one demon, rushing him away, breaking through the wall. Tatseo, meanwhile, is continuing his battle against Splinter, Yoshi, Shredder's friend, Saki's friend. "What makes you think that you stand any chance, rat? My power is absolute. I am the dragon!" Tatseo shouts, but Yoshi dodges his blows, punching him hard in the face, driving his knee upwards. "No, you are not. Your connection to the dragon is strong, but you are not one with him yet. You are not a god. We are just lucid dreams, channeling the divine," Yoshi tells him, his hands glowing as he reaches out, placing his hand against Tatseo, and the man begins to scream. "Soon, Saki will become lucid too, and you will be gone forever," Yoshi shouts. Meanwhile, outside, Saki watches the temple glow with energy, and a voice calls to him as he looks up to see the spirit of Yoshi floating towards him. "Let us go back to where we started," Yoshi tells him, waving his hand, and the forest once again appears. "Let us go back to the dream." But back in the temple, the dragon returns, slithering around the body of Tatseo, lifting him into the air, breathing fire into his body. "Now, I am forced to resort to alternative methods." Saki and Yoshi have entered the chamber of the Tree of Life, where Yoshi greets the spirit of Tengshen once again. Yoshi turns to his friend, telling him to be wise, to release his fears and his desires. "The fate of this universe is in your hands now. What will become of the two of you?" Saki says to his friend. Yoshi smiles, embracing Tenshen, telling Saki that they will reincarnate and search for each other once more. The spirits disappear in a swirl of glowing energy, becoming balls of light that drift into the Tree of Life. The tree shifts and the dreamer appears before Saki, taking a physical form. Saki steps forward, showing her the piece of the dragon soul that resides in him. "Can you remove it?" he asks. She places a hand on his shoulder, leaning him forward. "That is not my choice to be made, but I'll secure your sacred right to free will," she tells him. And she steps into the light, her eyes widening as an expanse of the universe is revealed to him. He observes the dreamer and the dragon's creation, how they then created the different aspects of life on Earth. It was the dragon who created the pantheon of demigods and placed them on the Earth. and the dreamer wished to act as her father and create life. So she fell into a slumber, dreaming to live the lives of humankind. But her dreams were corrupted by the dragon, who claimed everything that happened was merely a part of existence. Dreamer explains that she was forced to design a prison to capture the dragon, a soul which she could never escape from. Your soul, she explains to him. But it was Kitsune who never lost sight of her father's soul. And while she could still bend the matter of Oroku Saki, she could not bend his spirit. She needed him to trust her, to love her, to agree to become the dragon's vessel, but this also affected her. She loved me, Saki asks. What does your heart tell you? The dreamer asks, and Saki reaches within himself, pulling out the soul of the dragon. That I must hold my destiny in my own hands and renounce everything that I thought I was. That the nightmare is over. He says, crushing the ball of light, destroying it. With that, the dreamer disappears, and Saki now stands on a rock, a vast wasteland of lava and smoke surrounding him, and he looks up as the dragon appears through the smoke. It opens its mouth, roaring in rage, fire and smoke swirling around its body. In the real world, Kitsune places another of her paintings on the wall, tears in her eyes. Father, do you hear me? Are you still with me? My spell is almost complete. Your new reign approaches, she says, returning to her paint and dipping her brush once again. But the closer I get to my goal, the harder it is for me to see it through. This is breaking my heart, she says, returning to her task once more. The dragon breathes fire, destroying the ground on which Saki stands. But he leaps into the air, falling down and slashing the dragon, landing on its back, running up it, leaping once more to attack its head. I see inside your soul. You are still searching for another solution, still hoping your destiny to be grandiose. The dragon growls as it looks back at Saki, who slashes it across its face, bringing a roar of pain. It swirls, knocking him away. And in the real world, the tears continue to fall from Kitsune's eyes as she is painting, but now she is not alone, for Akka stands next to her. This is what I'm supposed to do, she tells her sister. What you're supposed to do is not for me to say. All I know is that we are too far down the road and it is too late for you to change your mind, Akka tells Kitsune, dabbing her eyes. Akka looks at the body of Shredder, with Kitsune informing her that he is trying to wake. The ceremonial knife raising up, and Kitsune takes it in her hands. It is time for you to choose, Akka tells her. Shredder tries to struggle to his feet as the dragon draws closer. It is too late to deny me, human. I am your destiny. The dragon bellows, but Shredder shakes his head. The human is gone. Only the dream remains, he says, and the dragon slams down its claws, smashing Shredder into the ground. You are meaningless without me. But something pushes back, and the dragon is surprised as a massive Shredder stands up, punching it across the waist. The meaning of this dream is mine to decide, Shredder tells the dragon, but the dragon also transforms, becoming a monstrous version of Tetsuo. Is that so? Allow me to prove you wrong. The two massive warriors walk towards each other, their blows echoing and cracking the earth beneath them. You amuse me, a man dreaming to be a god, with no idea of what being a god truly means. The two trade their blows back and forth, knocking each other through the air. You underestimate my will, beast, Shredder snarls. I'll destroy you! He roars. There it is, Oroku Saki, always trying to kill his way to success. The dragon continues to bellow, laughing at him, and Shredder hits him again and again, grabbing the dragon by the throat, lifting him into the air. The dragon laughs, pointing out that even in his enlightened state, Saki is merely trying to solve his problems with violence. You are the dragon warrior! But Shredder throws the dragon away. No! He screams, and the dragon moves forward. I am the meaning of your existence. But a light appears and the dreamer stands before her brother. Enough! You think you hold the meaning, but you do not, my brother. You are in pain, suffering an eternal hunger, a nightmare, and this nightmare ends here, she tells him. Outside, Kitsune grabs her blade. So have you decided? Akka asks her, and Kitsune nods, slashing her sister across the throat. Akka stares in surprise for a moment as she falls, flames escaping from her body, lighting the room. The battle is over. Saki once more stands in a room of light. What has Kitsune done to me? He asks the dreamer, but the goddess shakes her head. Perhaps she gave you a choice, and even if she's not aware, she gave you love. The dreamer waves her hand, telling Saki that someone has come for his help. The spirit of Splinter appears before them. He turns to Saki, asking him for help. Kitsune, she's trying to bring a demon to Earth. Together, I think we can prevent this from happening, he says, and Saki nods, telling him that he'll help, but he needs to come back. Bring me back to her, he whispers. Shredder once more stands before the dragon. I am the one and only way, human. Shredder nods, finally agreeing. I can see that now. And in the real world, the body of Shredder is engulfed in flames, but it sits up standing. You did well, child. I have returned, but I am not free yet, it says to Kitsune. There is one last key required to open the gates to this realm. Bring me the treasure that Takeshi Tetsuyo kept safe for me. Bring me the Kira no Ken, the dragon commands. Kitsune nods, bowing to her father. As you command. Now, the very tail end of this actually comes into play much later in the Turtle storyline, and we will get to that if you guys want it. I know you said in the last one you want the Turtle storyline to continue, but as it stands right now, in the main Turtle storyline, Splinter and the Turtles need to deal with the death of Shredder. He's still dead in the main timeline, and while he will eventually come back, as you have seen in this video, we do need to see how we get to here. So if you want this series to continue, let me know in the comments down below. It's your comments that keep this channel alive, and if you give me a comment just saying you want this series to continue, that's all I really need. Also, give this video a like, hit that subscription button, and if you want to get early access to our videos and join the community, head on over to our Discord and our Patreon, and I'll see you next time right here.